Okay, guys, update on my Catante Oncidium. I went to water her and I just set her down in a warm bucket of water to let her soak up what she wanted. And then I gradually just kind of started pouring over her, and the smell coming out of the medium was awful. And this is what I got out of her. This is the pot she was in. And this is all the dead root. All this stuff was smushed up. It's like, I don't know, it's falling apart, but it smells horrible. The bark is all smushy. This was the root ball and the bottom of the stem. It was all rotting. It's all squishy, see? And this was all majorly in the middle of the plant. And then some of these were outside roots. But really that was all that was happening. So I made a quick decision. I had to save my plant. Risk the buds. Risk the new spike. I'd rather save my plant and risk the flowers. But yeah, that was, so I repotted her, and I rinsed off the root ball really well. Sprayed her down with peroxide really good, especially on her inner stem. Sprayed that off really well twice. Left it dry in front of a fan, and I was going to put her into this pot, but it was too small. So I just went ahead and went with the clay pot that I had for sitting in for stability. And I left out as many of the air roots as I could. But when it comes down to it, I want to save the plant and risk the blooms. And actually just her warming up and soaking for a while, I can tell that her blooms are actually looking better. I mean, most of them look crappy, but and I did notice after I got her planted and put her up here on her table, this pot is cracked. So all I'm going to do is, I've got some heavy green wire that I use for my orchids. It's kind of like this stuff, but it's got a green coating on it. I really like it. Well, this stuff right here. So then I will just take a piece of that and I will wrap it around here, because look how far this crack goes. And this is the only pot I have this size. All of them are either smaller or way too big. This was the best fit I could get her in. And so this is her new growths right here, these two. And I tried to get her up further this way, but she's got a lot of root, and I didn't want to break, but she had a lot of good root around the sides. And of course she's got all these air roots. It was just that middle mass that, but she's got plenty of growing room. This side might be a little iffy, but she'll reach out and over. And if I have to repot her, in the summer, I will. I want to get some better bark anyways, because I get the I get it at Lowe's. It's about the only place that I can find besides online. But I get the orchid bark, and it's crappy because the bottom of the bag is all the spine stuff. So I have to sit and shake and pick out, and I put my bigger bark into another container. And then I just save this stuff for, my regular house plants. It works good. I'll just sprinkle it like on the top of stuff or mix it in with soil. But it's just irritating to get orchid bark, and then it's majority this crap. So I'm going to look around online and try to see if I can find me some premium orchid bark, because I'm tired of messing with this stuff. I do a lot of water culture. I do a lot of growing in moss. But I want the big, thick, hefty pieces of bark, like what I picked out in here for her, because I need a lot of air, and the more the better, because I am a very heavy-handed waterer. I love to water my plants. I cleaned off the leaves. There's a lot of spotting, but I wasn't seeing any bugs or anything like that. But a lot of the leaves have some cold damage, like it is if your plants are out on the porch and they get frost. But I'm not going to worry about that right now. I'm just going to let them do what they're going to do. And I need to move my fan up here for some air, because I did do a lot of spraying. I want to make sure everything is drying out in there well. So yeah, I wasn't really planning, wasn't really going to repot her until I started watering her, and I smelled that medium breaking down. So I had to do it, and I'm glad I did, because her center core stem was rotting. So, but she's got plenty of root. I sprayed her down good with peroxide. She's got a lot of root inside. She's got a lot of air roots, which I did end up burying some of them, but I just did it real lightly. Maybe they'll creep back up, because you usually don't bury your air roots, but I kind of didn't have a choice. But she's in there nice and snug, and hopefully she is a happy girl right now, because what she was in was horrible. So yeah, that's my update, and hopefully she'll do okay for me. I'm going to let her sit here under this light, and we got snow happening outside. It's really cold, it's windy, and I just want to give her, I don't know if this is going to be her forever home, because she is kind of big, but yeah, she looks good. Alright guys, have a great day. Bye.